Welcome, everybody. Live Master Showcase. I am your host, Mike Chavez, and we have our first inaugural guest of the Live Master Showcase.
Woo-woo.
Maite is here with us, and we're getting notifications that we're live on Live Masters TV, so we know that we're live. And so I just wanted to come and bring this to you guys today. I'm super excited to introduce Maite to you. She's somebody that I've known over a year now online. We connected, and we've developed a kind of cool relationship watching each other do videos. And I just was telling her that I wanted to do something where I can showcase some of my cool friends, get their story out, and let people know what they're working on for the future. So I'm going to introduce you to Maite, and she's going to tell you a little bit about herself, and we'll just have a nice little conversation, and I'll start inviting people to the broadcast. So without further ado, Maite, introduce yourself and let people know who you are.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you so much. I'm so honored to be your first honorary guest on your interviewing show. So thank you. Thank you. I have enjoyed watching your journey. The fact that you have gone live every single day for as long as you have is just amazing. And you're just so smart. And I think that you are doing exactly what you need to be doing because people want to see who you are. And the best way to do that is by going live. And so I'm super excited because I used to do a lot of lives and had some changes in my life. And so I stopped doing them for a little while and now I'm back. So I'm very excited about that. So just to tell you a little bit about me, I am a single mom, except my son now is 20. So I am a empty nester, actually, which is really, really cool because it's so nice not to have to worry about anybody but myself. My son's off at college. He's doing his thing and he's doing well. And it's been really great being a single mom to a boy. We have a really great relationship. And so it's really nice because, he has conversations with me where you get to see like the fruits of your labor in terms of having raised a kid with good values and he's a good person. Mm-hmm. And so it's always very rewarding to me for that. I am a law of attraction coach. That is what I do at this moment. That's my business. I do one-on-one coaching. I have a 12-week program that is all about utilizing the law of attraction. Which if any of you know me, you know that is like a key component to how I live my life. I am all about what you put out there is what you get. And when you are intentional about that, you can change your life. And even more importantly, if not as important, is really paying attention to your thoughts and the thinking that you have in your head. Because again, you can say all the positive affirmations that you want, but if your thinking is not really in line with that, the universe, God, whatever you call it, really hones in on what the vibration is, what the true feeling is behind it. So it's not necessarily about words, it's about how you're thinking and how you're feeling. And I love it because I have had a very, very interesting life. I have a master's degree, so I went and have a degree in counseling. So I've been very blessed being able to have a way to connect with people. And I think that that's one of my superpowers is being able to kind of really connect with people and have them feel heard and understood. And I'm always about what's the gift? How do I look at this from a positive perspective? And I truly believe that in anything that you do and anything that you experience, you have the ability to take a step back and really choose how you want to deal with that situation. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you, in the last 3 years, I left my corporate job where I had worked for 20 years. And I did that because they sort of forced the situation and it was the right thing to do. I got into network marketing because I had done that as a side hustle and I decided that I wanted to do that as my business. And I did that for almost a year and a half. Learned so much, made the most amazing connections, was part of an organization where the community was great, but I wasn't successful. And I ran out of money and I put it out there that I needed to get a job and I got the most amazing job. back in my career, kind of the kind of job that you want to retire with. And after 7 months having packed up my house and moved, I moved to upstate New York. I was there for 7 months, and it wasn't a good fit. Let's put it that way. When they hire from the outside in order to make changes, you have to be really careful because sometimes the culture just doesn't. That. So anyways, left there and moved back to Florida because that's where I'm from. And within 3 months had moved to Tampa, gotten a new job. And let me just tell you from a manifestation standpoint, Tampa had been on my dream board, had been part of the plan for at least 10 years. I had been thinking about that. So that being laid off or not laid off, but being terminated, being let go, provided the opportunity for me to come to Tampa. And here I am in Tampa, and COVID hit. And what I was doing, I couldn't do. So I got laid off again. So now we're at 2. And I have to tell you that for me, it has been the biggest blessing. Because the universe knew that in my heart, what I really wanted to do was to help people understand that no matter what they're going through, it can get better and they have what it takes. And from a coaching perspective, I had gotten a life coaching certification in law of attraction. So I'm living what I want to be coaching people. And, I've been coaching people. I've been doing that. So now it's my business, and I am just super, super excited.
That is so cool. So I was listening to, I always wonder, what was that first paradigm shift where you really embraced all the concepts of, with the law of attraction and that is what was it that, really flipped the switch for you?
Okay, well, there's 2 things. One is a belief system that everything happens for a reason. So I've had that for a million years, and it has gotten me through some pretty, really difficult times and in the past. And then the second thing is that we create our reality. So everything that happened that I just described to you, I created that, and I created that for my highest good. So at every point during those 3 years that I just talked about, it was a period of growth. It was a period of figuring out how much strength I had, figuring out what my superpowers were, who am I in the course of moving to a new place and having to make new friends, going into an environment that I wasn't familiar with. All of those things have taught me something that has helped me to get to this point. And so for me, that was the big paradigm shift, because life is happening for me, and it's my responsibility to figure out how am I going to use that for my highest good versus life is always happening to me. That is a real different mindset, I think.
Yeah.
And our mind is what really controls so much of what happens in our world.
Yeah. It's easier said than done in the moment, right? To realize, but you have to just stop and take a breath. And I ask myself questions like, what am I supposed to learn from this? Is this real? Where am I supposed to go with this? What am I supposed to learn from this experience?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And when you definitely change your perspective on life, your perspective on life changes, right? It's just amazing.
It does. And this whole idea that in any moment in time, you get to choose. In every single moment, you get to choose, how am I going to show up? How am I going to view that situation? And what am I going to do? Because what happens with so many people is they have these default positions or default programs or default behaviors that anything that comes up in their life, they just go back to the default, whatever that familiar way of handling a situation is, instead of going, okay, how do I want to look at this? I mean, I got to tell you, and dealing with what we're dealing with in this world right now, the pandemic, social unrest, injustices, you know, even in that moment, you have to really think about, like, how am I going to show up? How am I going to go the media route and be like, oh, woe's me, and holy shit, the world's falling apart, and everybody's poor and all of that? Or do I want to say, oh, do I want to focus on how people are helping each other?
Mm-hmm.
How people are getting to connect with their families
Mm-hmm.
and off their devices, because it's really important now to be connected.
Mm-hmm.
How many people who can go outside and be in nature with their families, and they've never done that because they're too busy?
Yeah.
Like, all of this was like a huge reset.
Mm-hmm.
So, and for me, it starts with me. Like, like I can't, you know, it's Maya Angelou, be the change that you want in the world. So if I'm clear with myself and I'm making choices about showing up from a positive perspective, from giving people the benefit of the doubt, from not giving in to negativity and that kind of stuff, then I'm presenting myself in the best way that I can, so that my connections with people are positive, that people are feeling good, that they're feeling heard, that they're feeling connected to. And when we can do that, oh my goodness, so much changes for yourself as well as the other person.
Yeah, for sure. I think the hardest part that I had to figure out how was to accept my current reality for what it is, right? And but not stay in that, not stay there, and just think about my desired reality more than what my current reality is. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but
no, it's not. Listen, it's
but
not.
you have to stay grounded, though. You have to stay grounded to know what your current reality is and be like, yeah, this is not what I want. This is not what I want. And but don't live there. You know, just really focus on what it is that you want, because if you keep focusing on this right here, you're not going to be able to go anywhere else, for sure.
Absolutely. And from a law of attraction perspective, the way that I look at that is the reality has already manifested. Like, that was the manifestation of things that have happened prior to that. And so right now we get to create, as we speak, as we do, as we show up, we're creating the new reality. And so it's really cool, because again, if you're taking personal responsibility for how you show up in the world, you're creating what you want that world to look like.
I'm smiling right now because I'm sitting here thinking about 3 years ago, before I started doing my videos, I would watch a video like this and I would see somebody like myself now, not to brag or boast or anything, but I would see somebody like myself because I used to watch videos like this and I used to watch people like myself and be like, I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to do that. And now I'm actually doing it. And I've been doing it, and I'm helping other people do it. And it's, when you manifest things in your mind, and I like to share this with people that like to manifest. Mm-hmm. If you've ever manifested anything in your life and it's come to fruition and it's actually happened, in that moment, when you realize you manifested that moment, it's better than you ever imagined. Exactly. It's like, it's almost surreal. And
you see that sense of power, like you did that.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah. And the more those moments that you have that you manifest, it starts to snowball, and you realize that you can do anything that you put your mind to without physical limitations, obviously, right? I'm going
to tell you, like, if you read anything by Dr. Joe Dispenza,
yeah,
which is Breaking the Habit of Being You, and the placebo effect. I mean, he's got all these. Becoming Supernatural is his latest book, and in his seminars and workshops, like, he helps people rewire their brain in terms of how they're thinking and their belief system and their ability to visualize with feeling, and people are being able to do things physically that they weren't able to.
Yeah.
In terms of getting restored from cancer, hearing, I mean, just crazy stuff.
Well, yeah, his personal experience, his own story with his back. He had all these surgeries, and the doctor said he'd never, and they said he was a total anomaly, and he made a decision that he was going to heal himself, or he healed himself with the power of his mind.
Yep.
And the power, I was talking about this last night with Teresa, the power of your mind is so powerful that it causes anxiety, it causes stress, and stress is the number one killer. We know that, right? And stress causes a multitude of diseases, right? So when your mind's not right, your body's in a disease state, it causes diseases. And that's why, if theoretically his thinking is, if your mind can cause your body to be sick, then your mind can heal your body to be healthy.
Right, exactly. So from a physical standpoint, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then from a spiritual standpoint or a lifestyle, like all of that, which is why I'm so passionate about it, because I want people to understand that they have that power. Yeah,
they do.
You know, and it's not, and the thing that gets me is that, you know, if you know, The Secret, the movie and the book were the first sort of mainstream ways of understanding the law of attraction. And I mean, I remember reading that book and I'm like, I'm going to be a parking space manifester. Like, and to this day, like wherever I go, I get the best parking spaces. Mm-hmm. People are like, seriously? And I do. And I thought, oh my God, that is so interesting and so powerful. But there's so much that's missing, because it sort of implies that if you just want it and you visualize it, that you're going to get it. And that's not really how it works. There's a whole process of being open, of being inspired in terms of taking action. Like, mm-hmm. You've got to do your part. You can't just expect that these things are just going to happen. It doesn't work that way. You have to be an active participant in the whole process, because you can't be receptive and be inspired if you got all this negative thinking going on.
Well, you're not in a state of awareness of those things if you have that negative thinking going on, because it's just like saying the same thing. You know, you could pray and pray and pray and pray for whatever it is that you want, but if as soon as you're done praying, you're back to worried about what you don't have, all these blessings are just going to go right by you because your head's down, worried about what you don't have.
I love that. I love that analogy, because you're right. You're looking down and you're not seeing. They're there.
They're there. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. It's people, it's places, it's things, there's signs everywhere. Like,
and that's the process. The process is you get inspired to go somewhere where you meet somebody and they open a door, and then something else happens and that door opens another door, and all of a sudden you're where you wanted to be. But it was a journey that you had to take. It wasn't like, the Maserati just like, whatchamacallit, just appeared in the garage.
Mm-mm.
But you met a person. Like, the best example I've had is, you're a realtor and you want to make $1 million. And you're focused on getting all these clients and you're going to make $1 million. Well, if you're so set on that is the only way that you're going to make that $1 million, you are going to miss out on so many opportunities that are not even about that, because the universe is the one that knows exactly how to get you those $1 million. It may not be from your client, but you may be inspired to write an ebook that goes viral that gets you the client or gets you something else because of, that taking off that way. Like, you just never know. And so there's a part to the law of attraction, which is, it was the hardest for me. And that is letting go and surrendering. So we've talked about all these different things that are sort of part of it, but you have to trust that God, the universe is providing for you. Like, it's done.
I got a story to tell you about that. Yeah.
So when you can allow the universe and God to do their thing, like you do your part, they do their part. It's that feeling that you said. It's like when you see that manifestation, you're like, oh my God, that is so cool.
So it's interesting how I got the name Live Masters, right? So I don't know if you've heard this story. I've told it a few times.
I don't think so. I can tell you, I told you it's the best name.
Oh, so before it was Live Masters, it was Chavez Live 360 or whatever. And I didn't know at the time that, you had to have a community name that was something different than not just your name or whatever. Anyway, so I didn't know what I was going to name it. I didn't know anything about the branding, but I was trying to hone my speaking skills, and I started going to Toastmasters. And so Monday through Friday in Live Masters, our group, I ask a question of the day, right, to help people figure out topics and stuff like that. Well, I don't like to be redundant, and I want to make sure I ask different questions all the time. And it was a Monday morning, and I was trying to figure out what I was going to ask for the question of the day. And I'm like, what am I going to ask? What am I going to ask? And I was like, I couldn't think of anything. And I started talking. I started praying. I'm like, okay, God, just give me something. Nothing. I'm like, okay. I said, I know you'll give me something. So I get in the car that morning. I'm taking the kids to school. And since it's Monday, I started thinking about Toastmasters, the meeting later that day. And I'm driving the kids to school, and I'm, just putting along, and I'm starting to think, when you're driving, you just start thinking about the rest of your day, right? And I'm thinking about the meeting. I'm thinking about how they have the speakers and how you're involved and all the stuff that they do there. I'm like, oh man, it's going to be really exciting. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, wow, that would be really cool if we can do all that stuff and just do it online, like in the group. And then all of a sudden, the name Live Masters, it just popped into my head. Never heard it before. There it was. It's been there every day. And then I got the name, and then I changed the name of the group, and somebody goes, oh, wow, that's a really cool name. You need a logo. Do you know how to do logo? I said, no, I don't know how to do logo. And then I just used my imagination, and the logo, I imagined, like, I wanted the camera, like the little eye. I wanted that with the little red thing. I wanted it to look like maybe if somebody caught the replay that they would think I was live. So that's how I kind of came up with the logo, and I came up with the wording and everything. I just kind of came to me.
Well, listen, you asked.
And I received.
But you asked and you let go.
Yeah.
And you knew that it was going to happen because you said in your story, I know you're going to give me the answer.
Yep.
Like exactly. That's perfect. That's like such a perfect story.
Yeah, but if I would have came home or if I would have been fighting with the kids in the car on the way to school, that would have never came to me.
Nope. No, because it's your state.
Right. It's your state
of being.
Right. Because I was thinking about something else that had nothing to do with the answers to the question, but it all.
But I'm going to add this to it. You were also, and your smile shows it, you were also excited.
Yeah.
Like
I'm so excited.
You were in the car thinking about, oh my God, like how cool, and Toastmasters, and you were having the feeling. Yeah. And that's also a very big part of law of attraction is that, how you're feeling when you're in that high vibration. It doesn't even matter that it's not about whatever it is you're asking. It's that you're in that high vibration of being able to receive. And when you are in that kind of vibration, like everything else just starts falling into place. Yeah, that's why being aware of how you're feeling on a very regular basis is so, so critical.
Yeah.
So critical.
Yeah. Mastering your emotions really is, if that's ever possible. I don't know. I think it's
possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I did this particular life coaching program is because it just resonated with my phone. I should have put it, I'm sorry. I should have put it on airplane mode. All the parts and pieces to have how you help somebody just fit. Like it just resonated with what I knew and what I was all about. So it was a good fit. A really good fit.
It sounds like it. So it sounds, and so you've really adjusted well and you've pivoted well. I mean, you did also, you were in the Tony Robbins challenge too, right? And you did all your homework on that too, didn't you?
Yeah, I did most of it.
You did most of it?
I did homework, but I did not do every single live.
No. So how long have you had your coaching thing going?
Not long. Like I've done coaching on the side since I got my certification, but as a full-time business, like I just started in the last month.
All right, so cool. So you are open and available for plenty of clients to hit you up then, right?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Now I'm keeping it small. I'm just looking to do, like, I don't want to get overwhelmed. I want to be able to really provide good attention to folks. Mm-hmm. So I'm building my business, and the coaching, I'm definitely. But you know what? I'm looking for people that really want to make a difference for themselves. So it's somebody who sort of understands, like resonates, like you go, oh, I get what you're saying. I think I kind of understand what you're saying, but I'm not sure how to put that into practice into my life.
Yeah.
Like that would be.
That's the thing, I think, for most people, because we do not live in a world where there's lack of information.
Right.
I think it's a lack of implementation of the information is the biggest problem that we have, because I'll give you an example. I was in the Rise Up Challenge. It was the one before this, the last Tony Robbins one. And I did every day the homework. I think it was only supposed to be like 20 days, but in like 23 days or whatever. I did every day the homework. There was some phenomenal content in there. It was structured well. The worksheets were amazing. I did every day the homework. And they sold packages in there for, I don't know, $5, $10, up to $20,000.
Wow.
And I know for a fact that I got more value out of that by doing it for free and me doing the homework every day than some of the people that spent $10,000 to $20,000 that never even opened up their email, right, with the information that they purchased. That's just how people are. So what I'm saying is, and back to part of my backstory with, before doing videos and everything, I had no video experience. I had no networking experience. I had no business experience. I just got online and I started learning every day, and I started connecting with people and I started learning from them. And now it's, just because I've been doing it every day, I've learned that I went out and learned the things that I needed to learn by just watching other people. But I did get to a point, and I'm at that point right now where, I have a mentor now, and it wasn't until I got a mentor and I stopped doing it all on my own is when I truly was able to start making money and taking care of my family, and then also truly help other people, because every mentor has a mentor.
No, absolutely. You have got to know, like, it's all that stuff, who you surround yourself with.
Absolutely.
And being able to be open to have help. And, when you have a mentor and you have that level of support and you have somebody who's in your corner and helping you, who's been through it, it makes such a difference. It really, really does.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. So in closing here in a couple minutes, why don't you just let everybody know where they can get a hold of you, the best way to contact you, and then I'll let them know, because this is on our YouTube channel and our Live Masters TV page, so you can leverage this video as much as you want.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Right. So on Facebook, just, send me a message. I'd love to get to know you, connect and see what you're all about and how I can help you. And we can go from there. And send me your email address, and I can put down my email address in the comments if you want to reach out to me that way. And I'm in the midst. I have a website page, but I'm working on this part of it. That's one of my to-do lists, is to get that up and running. But I just wanted to be connecting with people and doing what I'm passionate about, and all the rest of it, as I know will happen, will get taken care of in the right time.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Maite, and everybody else.
Thank you so much. This was wonderful.
Yeah, it was cool. We'll do this again. In a month or so, we'll definitely come back and maybe we can get an update on how everything's going with your new business.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, awesome.
Don't put me on the spot at all.
Oh, I will. Well, we'll stay connected. We'll stay connected. Absolutely. And updated. Okay.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.